we already know because it's new. So we can just set the number 5 next to the new custom node.
Okay, so we are going to say head.next. Oi.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, and then no, but we have to first do insert node because right now it won't be. So before we do head next, we have to do insert node dot next equals to head node dot next, and then when it gets to the second point, now it will have the original second position one, and it will be replaced with the. I can draw it in a graph.
So insert node.next is what, Ida?
Equals to head.next. So now it's pointing to the second one originally, and now we're going to replace it.
Okay, so let's see what you've got here. Okay, so let's just clean this up. Let's draw it. Let's see if it works. So we have a head node. Let's just say it's a one list. Okay, we have 2. Okay. We have a head node. It contains the 5 we're looking for. We came and made a custom node here. Okay, head is currently, that's head's current next value. Okay, so what are we saying now? We're saying head.next is no longer this. So we drop that.
So we are copying that line and putting it to the top one.
So we're saying head.next is this.
No. We're saying so that
That's what our code does.
No. The code does it copies.
Oh, you are saying we now have this.
Yeah, we have that now. Yes, we're going from the top to the bottom of the line. And
okay.
Now we can connect. Now we move on to the next line. Now we can connect 5 to the top of the point of the triangle.
And how do we do that? Head.next equals insert node. Are we going to test it?
That's what we want to do, isn't it?
Yeah, let's test it. We're not going to judge, we're just going to test. Okay, breathe. Okay, so let's go test it. Okay, I'm just going to take off some stops here. Okay. So in this now, if I go say insert after, and in this case we have to deal with the head, so you're gonna have to insert after. Look, I am the captain now, right? I never displayed the whole list, did I? So we're just gonna have to look with a breakpoint. Okay, and then I'll just say S-link list. This is the best way to do this. No, it's not, because now it's at that. So let's just do 2. No, let's just try it this way. Okay, let's see if this is working. So this is what the Dove has for us. Yes, but we're only handling the head, okay? So we're saying if the head is null, we want to get some feedback. And then if the head contains the data that we're looking for, we're creating a new custom node, setting the data of that node, called insert node. This is the insert guy. Yeah, the data that we're searching for. Because I said, let's have a look. And then after that, if it's broken, we fix it. Oh, no. Continue. What have I done now? Hold on, I'm just going to run. I'm just, wait. I'm first going to break everything. It did. Okay. So let's see what happens. Okay. It should skip the head as null. This should say, look at me, I'm the, oh shoot. It's not gonna work. No, we've got, look at me, I'm the star now. Wait, do you see why this is not gonna work? Well, it might theoretically still work because we've got actually really shoddy code here, but let's just see. No, okay, why did that not work? Because we're supposed to replace, we've replaced it with stars. So hold on.
You can just comment the profanity.
Yeah. So we're just going to take out the profanity filter because it's causing us pain. Okay, so let's try again. Okay. So skips it. So header data is, look at me, I'm the captain now, contains, look at me, I'm the captain now. Okay, makes that new custom node. The data we are setting there is, oh, I see what you mean. Thank you. I'm sorry, that took a while. We'll have it twice. Okay. We have to come change this. I'm breaking it. I'll fix it. But let's just see if it inserts. Okay. So the head is look at me, I'm the captain now, and the head's dot next. No, we're not going to get that data. Can anybody see why this is not going to work? Because we can't call this data. Because, hold on. Because this is the search data and we're setting that to data. Yeah, so now we're going to have to say search data. Yeah, I have to go look why it worked before. So we meant making new nodes.
You just insert something else for now.
Yeah, hold on. Let's try now. Oh, that's broken. Okay, hold on. What are we looking for? Search data, search data. What? That's the new data we're adding. That should work.
Where are we getting the data
For this node.
Yeah.
Hold on. I just want to see something. Just before you crucify me, let me first see it break. Yo. It's vicious. So header data is, look at me, I'm the captain now. Search data is, look at me, I'm the captain now. That data now should be, whoops. Okay. Okay, so this data now is still null. We've got problems. Insert node is null. Did I put? Why is this not crashing? Insert after, look at me.
You can't put a null, and what it's going to do is it's going to shorten it to, instead of it being a long length, it's going to shorten it.
What do you mean in the long length it will shorten it? We've got problems.
We set the next one null to null.
Yeah, hold on, I need to see why this is breaking.
Data can be null.
No, that data is currently null, but that's not good.
You can put a random.
Yeah, that needs to insert the data we want. Hold on, let me find. I'm sure I've done it, but I think I've done it in the doubly linked list. Let's just go see. That's a convolutional neural network, not CNN lineage. Let me see, I'm pretty sure I did that. But that's in a doubly linked list. So there's append in a doubly linked list. There's normal insert in a doubly linked list. Maybe I did it this way. But still we have to get that. Let's show previous. I did a normal insert, string data into after. But this has got, I still think we need a temp node to store the data in. Okay, and then it takes 2 parameters, so we have to give it 2 here. Okay, so why don't we just say string search data, string insert data? What if we do this? Because there's no index, there's nothing that can break.
The one data.
Because it's used at the top as well. Is it? Did I do it the second one? Yeah, we have to turn them around. So let's just see if it gives us IntelliSense so that it's actually usable for a user. So if it tells us what it wants, yeah, it does. And I'm going to copy and paste this so that it doesn't go wrong. Can we try, oopsie. Can we try it now? And we might have to change that contains to dot equals. But let's just see. Let's try again. Are you people in the back listening? Are you following? Oh, first we broke it. Don't follow right now. Okay, follow when I'm better. Make the thing. Which side is left? That way. This is my left. This is left. It's my left this way. What's that? Oh, there it is. Thank you. That took very long. I told you I don't use Visual Studio. I think it's disgusting. I use Visual Studio Code. Don't use this atrocity. Okay, let's go. And I keep messing up. Let's wait. Let's run it. Okay, let's see if it's working now. Okay. So head is definitely not null. Okay, I've misspelled list. So head.data is look at me, I'm the captain now. Search data is look at me, I'm the captain now. You're going to go make that custom node. It now says, I have been inserted after. Okay, now here is where it gets messy. Okay, so inserted node. Okay, its next is currently null. We have to set it. Its data is I have been inserted. Okay, after. So we're going to have to do this twice so we can actually see it working. So let's just see now. It's next. Oh, yeah, no, you can't get into the next here. We're going to just hit next until, yeah, the edge. Now, I want to see next. No, not that one. Show me your data. Okay, but what is this? Maybe this will be correct. We'll see. This doesn't look right. Is it right? Okay, so let's just see what we have. Okay. So we have insert node. Okay, insert node's data is I have been inserted after, and its next points to on the so I think that's correct. Okay, and then the its data is I'm the captain now, and its next. Okay. Okay, so let's see head. We've got. Look at me, I'm the captain now. Its next is I have been inserted after. Okay, we should actually output this entire list. Okay, but do you guys, those of you that actually listened, understand what we did here?
It's a quick switcheroo.
It's a quick switcheroo. It's just changing the pointers. Okay. Now I want insert before. Go. And I'm coming to come check you because I'm going to throttle you if this code is not. So you better start coding now. Yeah. So I want to see an inserted after and an inserted before. So let's go. I'm just going to go print out this whole list. Did I even add that show next method to my code? No. Okay, so I'm just going to go add the show next method to my code to print out our whole list. I want you to be appending. I want you to be inserting before. Is it important?
You gave me 56%.
Go see. I'm pretty sure. Ooh, that's going to be in a recording now.
We can get to the problem right after saying the rubric.
Is it correct? I want you to forever cry about that 3 marks. Now I have to go into Teams, so I'm first going to have to quit Teams, because I've got something open there. Now I'm going to cut it out of this video, okay?
Oh, okay.
That's that show next method. Actually, it's up here. Guys, this is recording. It's picking up your words. What am I looking for? No, not that one.
I have some. Okay.
Are you guys doing what I've asked you to do?
Yes.
Are you? We were talking about that and then we never really decided. Okay, so now I have to come here. I have to go make a list. Yeah. What was I doing? Oh, yeah.
Do we have campus tomorrow or we're not having it?
Guys, Trent is teaching tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
I am not here from tomorrow. But if you find that you are having issues, you can find me online. Okay? Will you find me when you have problems? Okay, I'm gonna just output this and see if that, we're outputting like 1 million things in here. Okay, I have to actually show it. Why is this not working? Do you see this is working? Let me run it again. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just gonna run this. And here is what we've done. So we have appended, I am the head, I am the second node, I am the third node. Then we prepended, I am the captain now. Then, wahahaha, I'm the new head now. And look at me, I'm the captain now. I've taken out delete both in the totality filter. I have insert after, okay? And I insert after, I have been inserted after. And then I've just got the show the whole linked list. This is the head. I have been inserted after. Do you guys see this? Are you okay? Does it make sense? Okay, can we push this code up to Git? Can that be the last thing we do today? Do you feel like your brains are broken or you're all right? No, there's one thing left to do. How do I make this a circular linked list? So a circular linked list looks like this. Oh, flip, we've also only handled we have to add and we've only handled the head. Okay. But this is what we need to do last. It's linked. Yeah, like an infinite loop. It's a loop, yeah, but I think we're going to have to copy and paste this class and go make a singly circular linked list class. No, you don't create a loop, you just change this is the next pointer, this is the next, this is the next. You set this guy's next to head. Ta-da, done.
And you see everything into a list, and you call that list into the point loop.
We can't have a list. We have to make our linked list a circular linked list. Yeah?
My friend said that he's not going to be here for the weekend now. You want to know when can he catch up all the work?
Yeah. And you can just give them the YouTube channels to watch because everything is there. Okay. Listen, we forgot something. We're only doing the head. We never did the rest. We forgot this. Neil, are you okay now? So we're just going to now do this. Is anybody going to look at that code or if it's correct? Yadav, is that right? Anybody else want to take a stab on it? So the first code we had, we only handled if it was the head. Okay? If it's not the head, will this work? The exact same thing, yeah. So do you guys, if you think about it now, you have all the code for a singular linked list. In 2 changes, we make it a singular linked list. In 4 changes, we make it a doubly linked list. And in 5 changes, we make it a circular doubly linked list.
So what do you change per se? Because all the code is the same.
Previous and next pointers. Because we have this. This is a singly linked list. We now know how to make a singly linked list by appending, by prepending. We know how to delete. We know how to find and replace. We know how to insert anywhere after. We should now be able, you should have done the code to insert anywhere before. We've got this sorted, okay? All right, except we can't insert before the head, okay? Because then it's an append. So all we do is we say, you are now a circular linked list. So you just, the last node you insert, its next pointer points to the head. Yeah, so that's easy to do, but you must actually just start with if you just make a head. So there's just one thing that people battle with, and it's that this, is also a completely valid circular linked list. Okay, so you point the head to itself when you start. Okay, then if we can add next pointers, if we can do this. So is data structures and algorithms really hard? No. Huh?
Hard to remember only, but practically.
Implementing it's not bad. But if we can say next, why can't we say previous? You're going to just add previous. Every time you make a next, you make a previous. What gets nasty is how do I put this guy right there? Then you need to make a temporary variable. But we'll get to that. Okay. If you are uncomfortable with Git, this is the point where you follow me. Okay? So I've made a new GitHub repository called BK22 singly linked lists, and I'm going to push this code as soon as I can figure out where it's saved. I'm going to push this to Git. Okay. Do you guys need me to make a new repository? Do you want me to start from scratch?
Yes, ma'am. And then let's say you could get confused. So like, what I mean is like, there should be 2 of the same thing.
Oh, that's you mean I must leave it public so you can combine it. I'm going to delete this one, don't worry.
Delete one and keep the other one. So just for
Okay, I'm going to delete this one and we'll start again.
You should always scan.
Donut thing, yeah, this number gets that. I don't need it. I do, I can use that. Maybe I'll use that.
I don't have a whiteboard.
Okay. I'm not gonna scream. Listen to me. Zip your lips. See, this is why I don't have cookies, because I've thrown them at so many students. Okay. Follow. GitHub is a basic skill. If you can't do it, you're going to look like a nana in your interview. Boys, zip it. Okay, so let's start from scratch. We're building a new repository, okay? I can now once again call this, I think. Yeah? Not yet, we're just making a repo. Okay, you guys, this C# code that we have here, we can run it in a Docker container. It's entirely possible because it's a Windows form. It's really meant for something different. Okay, so to get you to put C# through a Docker container, we're going to return back to look back at that API we did. Okay.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
No, it's not.
2 weeks.
Did you struggle 2 weeks to get that thing? Did you get yours on?
No.
Okay, I'll help you guys, but somebody has to remind me that we have to push that API. Okay, so we're just going to say simple. Because the node class, some people use arrays. Okay, add a readme. You want to add git ignore. For some reason, there is no C# template. So then all you're going to say is none. No template. No, man. Yeah. So that you will have, listen, you are already making me scream. So you'll have a git ignore file. It's just empty. Kial. So much faith in you. Okay. Add the MIT license. Take yours for main and not for master.
MIT license was good, yes?
Yeah.
Or not that?
Guys, you want to always add a license to your code, especially if you make it public. Otherwise, someone can just go like, this is mine now. Okay. All right. So my stuff is public so that you guys can find it. Okay. Now, I have to go find out where this code is saved. Just give me 1 hot minute. No, where's the file system here? This.
Let's want to go back now.
No, wait, I'm slow. Just let me do it my old person slow way. This is a bad place to have your stuff, but anyway. There it is. Okay. Okay. So we have to decide where we want to push from. Do we want to push from here? Yeah, let's just push from here. Okay, so you have to not be here, okay? You have to be inside this folder and possibly even one deeper. But I think let's just do it from here. I'm not too great with Visual Studio stuff, okay? So when you are here, inside your project, mine are just stored under CTIL source repos. If you're going to repos, here is the singly linked list project that we've been working with, okay? Go into that project, click in your address bar and type CMD to launch command prompt. Okay, then say git init. You have to have git installed for this. Okay, this is git initialize. Going to make a GitHub repo. We can see it because it now has a Git folder in here. Now this folder is known as your local repository. It's your code on your local machine. Yeah? Yeah. If you're on a VM, you have Git installed. Okay, I'm just going to delete this Git folder and do it again. You have to add. Okay. Okay, so now you are here. Click in the address bar. Type CMD for command prompt. If you do that, all it does is it opens command prompt in the right folder. Okay. Now you're going to say git init to initialize the Git repository. I'm going to move this out the way so you guys can see. Okay, if you press enter now, you're going to see it create that Git folder for you. Okay, can I carry on? Hey, back row, listen, I'm not accepting a single submission that's not on Git, ne? Your code is not on Git. Third year, second semester, your rubric is not on Teams. If you will not and cannot leave this campus without being able to push to Git, I will know if you've dragged and dropped. I will know if you have pushed through Visual Studio Code in some god-horrid way. I'll even still accept that. But if your code is not on Git, I am not marking your stuff because you are not ready to leave. Pay attention. Okay. Now we have that little Git guy there. Now we can link, this is your local. When they talked about work, this is the local repository on your machine. And you're going to sync it up now with the remote. Okay, the guy in Git. All right, on GitHub. So you come here, you go to code. We're using HTTPS. I'm 99% sure your company is going to use SSH. Okay, there's been issues with HTTPS. So towards the end of the semester, we'll set up SSH keys for you guys. Okay. So let's just use HTTPS for now. We copy this link. Okay. Come into here and you're going to say git remote add origin. Okay. So you are saying git, I'm going to connect to a remote, which means a repository that's not on my machine. This one is on GitHub. Git is not GitHub, you guys. GitHub is just a platform. Git, the way this way works with Bitbucket, GitHub, GitLab, all of them. GitHub is Microsoft's now repositories. Are you guys okay? So just saying, I want to add a remote repo. Are you guys okay? Then add in that link. And so it's git remote add origin. So it's always iffy to set up a repository because you really only do it when a project starts. After that, all you have to do is push. Okay, and sometimes rebase, and sometimes find the history, and sometimes fix all your stuff ups. Okay. Now that we have this, okay, we have this little Git file in here. It's adding stuff. Are you guys okay? It's not empty. It is hooking you up. Let's make a thing here called head. Okay. That will trace where are we we going. Okay, so now we can say git pull. So the rule of thumb is when you sit down every morning at work, the first thing you do is git pull. We're going to say git pull. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, it's just, so right now it has pulled the stuff and it's telling us it needs to set my upstream branch to master. Okay, upstream is up in the cloud, what am I writing to? Because one GitHub repository can have multiple copies of it called branches. Are you guys okay? If you end up here, the easiest thing to do is to say git checkout. Yours will be main though. Okay. And it will tell you it's already on master. And if you're going to move back into your folder, you're going to see it has downloaded your README file and your license. I don't know why I don't have a git ignore after that long speech. Okay, so now it's telling you it's downloaded these things, okay? Now, I want to know what is on my local folder that's not in the cloud. How do I do that? I come in here and I say git status. And it's going to tell me inside your project is a Visual Studio Code file, which we should have actually ignored with the git ignore, but we'll get there, okay? And there's a folder called single linked list that contains your stuff. It is not on the remote. So you guys see this. These two are on the remote and in the local. That's why it's not moaning about it. It's telling you these two folders and that SLN file is not in the cloud. Do you guys see this? So now we want to send it there. So this is the steps you will never forget in your life. It's git status, find the red guys. Make sure you actually want the red guys so you don't push stuff up that you don't want, okay? Then you're going to say git add space full stop. That means add everything in the current folder that I'm in. Everything in single link list. Are you guys okay? You could also add the files one by one by typing their name. You could have typed git add single linked list.sln. Are you guys okay? But git add dot is generally used to say add everything in this folder. If I now go say git status, it has added all the files. We have no git ignore here. We will come back and fix that. Okay. So it's adding stuff we really don't want there, but that's okay for now. Do you see it has unpacked all the files in your project and added them to Git for you? Otherwise, we would have had to add all of these manually. Ain't nobody's got time for that. Now we say I'm ready to push this, but a commit is not a push, you guys. You can also do multiple commits in a single change. Normally, if you've done a big chunk of work and you go like, this better stay, then you just say git commit, okay? So, and you'll see a lot of pushes to repos has multiple commit messages. Commit is like saving. Are you guys okay? It's the best example I can give you. Save your changes to the Git folder. So if you code a big chunk and you're going to try something dodge, do a commit. So that if you git push, that is safe and your dodge can be forgotten. Are you guys okay? So it's just git commit and then -m for a message. Okay? And in there, if it's your first one, you always say initial commit. Okay. Yeah, there's a space between the M and the inverted commas. Okay. If we press enter, it's going to add all of these files. Yes, put that on Teams. Put that on WhatsApp. If we press enter, it's going to add all of these files. Okay? Now we can push. And we should just say git push. If we press enter, if we've done it all right, it's going to push all our code up to GitHub. Okay. Yeah?
Can you please go back to where you had the git commits files?
Do you see it? Where I have the git commit. Here. Yeah?
Okay, thank you.
You're getting? So say git fetch master. No, is yours called main? Yours will be main. Listen to me, guys. Wherever I use master, I can't change my branches to main because I have other stuff working off branches called masters. I'm going to break a whole lot of circle CI stuff. Yours will be main. Mine is master. Fetch main. Git checkout. Say git checkout. Fetch would also work, but say git checkout. Okay. Am I done now? Do I just use this branch? Yeah, no, never. This branch is your live-long branch. This branch has perfectly working code or diddly squat. So we go into settings. Okay, and you go to branches when you're in settings. And you see the branch protection rules here, okay? We're going to say add branch protection rule. I'm going to type master here, but you guys must type main, okay? And we are going to say require a pull request before merging. This means nobody that has created a branch of my master can merge that branch into the master branch without that code being checked. Are you guys okay? And then I'm requiring one approval before merging. And we'll talk about this now, but there could be 20. Are you guys okay? Then you just come to the bottom and just say create. Adaf, pay attention because I need you to do a review. Okay, so we're now going to do something a little different. So follow, and I'm recording all of this. This branch is now set up and ready. Okay, now I want to go make another branch. Okay, we don't now work on this branch anymore. We leave it alone. Anything else we do, we create another branch, which is a complete copy of the master branch. But if we break anything there, we don't affect the live long branch. Are you guys okay? It's also the live long branch that's hooked up to Circle CI. So now we want to add additional stuff. I'm now going to go copy the singularly linked list class file and call it circular linked list. We're going to start working on a circular linked list. Are you guys okay? So we want to make a new branch. We say git checkout -b. So git, please create a branch for me. And I'm going to call it circular. I do not know how to spell circular. Can someone help me?
Also check out you put a G in.
Yay, the judgment. Circly. Is this how you spell?
No.
Circly.
No. Take out the E and the I. Okay. C-I-R-C-I. L. Take out the Y. No. I'm so dumb.
Not Y about.
No, Y. It's L-I at the end. Sub Q. Okay, no.
This looks bad. Do you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this. Okay. Hey, spel die hexagram in Afrikaans. Come, quick. Yeah. Okay. Because I can't spell circular English. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I want to show you something. It says switch to a new branch. Update your Git. There's nothing there until we push. Okay, listen to me, follow me. I'm going to go in here now. Okay, and we've already called that ceiling list. But anyway, I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to copy this class. I'm going to make a new folder. Somebody tell me if you see new folder. Where's folder? No, I don't want a new solution folder. I just want a plain folder. New folder. Okay. Do not judge this, okay? Because I use C linked list for custom linked lists. Okay, so I'm going to call this. Okay. This is getting very messy. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to paste that new one in here. And I'm going to rename it. The circle linked list. Okay? Yes, fix it everywhere. Okay. We might have to come do some things to this poor class. So we've just done, what have I just done? No, I didn't want to do that. No, that's right. Okay. I'm going to come look here on a new branch. Okay, shh. So if I now come in here, listen, Students, if I come in here and I say get status, okay, it's going to pick up that something's changed. I'm going to say get add, get commit minus M, adding cyclic list. And I'm going to say get push. Okay? This often happens. You just copy and paste what GitHub gives you. If you are like old like me. Okay. Remember, this is all recorded. Now, do you guys see? Listen. Woo! When you sit at work and your boss calls you a dolphin, you remember, I tried to help you.
The last thing after
Get push, yeah. So do you guys see we now have a brand new branch here? Okay? And it has the changes. Oh, you see the changes happened in this branch? But in your main my master, that changes are not there. Do you see this? Now, if we code here and we do everything correctly, and we get to the point that the code in the branch is in such a way that we want to add it back into the main body of code, we have to merge. In order to merge, we have to do a pull request. Okay, so a couple of things are going to happen here. I'm going to add your duck. It's going to do a beautiful code review. Beautiful code review. So I'm going to go add your duck as a collaborator to this thing. And I can add someone else.
No, don't add anything. VHI. That's it. The account I'm on now.
VHI. What?
D is buying. He's buying.
Jesus. Oh.
Buying.
That's a guy now.
I don't have my given age on this song.
Are you going to show this to commercial companies?
No. I got one. I got a professional one and I got.
Okay, so Sausage, do you mind just accepting that invite, please? So this is what it's going to be like in your job, okay? Because I can't create a pull request and I can't merge without a code review. So that someone checks that there isn't disgusting code in there that will break the main code base. Okay. Okay, so now look what happens. Listen to me very carefully. This you do every third day at your job. You're going to have to do this. Okay? So we have created a second branch. We say that this branch, we've added some stuff here that we're confident it's not going to break the main branch. Neil. Push. You guys see here it will come up with compare and pull request. That doesn't always come up. You can just go click here on pull request. Okay. And then say you want to create a new pull request. Are you guys okay? Okay. So it says compare and review just about anything. We want to start with, what did I call that branch? So we want to compare our C-linked list branch with master. Are you okay? You guys okay so far? So we want to see what changes were made in C-linked list that was also done for master. And it will show us what changes we have made in the bottom here. We've copied an entire class. And it's finding all that copied changes. Do you guys see this? So everything we have done will be there. Okay. Now, what if I want to merge? How do I merge these two branches? What the hell did I do? So I'm going to click on compare and pull request. You guys see here it says able to merge. We are comparing C-linked list with master. And it's able to merge. It will work for me because I am the administrator. Okay. But do you guys see here it says no reviews, at least one approving review. Okay. I should not be able to click this. I unfortunately can because I am the owner of the repo. But Yadav, can you click it?
I'm going to try.
Any other ones of you that want to go create a branch of this repo, see if you can merge it. What does it tell you?
With a different branch of
You have to make a branch, yeah. You have to first make a branch if you don't have a branch. Okay. I'm just going to carry on while your Yadav clicks. I have to assign a reviewer. So you come here. I can only choose Yadav. So Yadav will now be notified that he has to go and review my code. Okay. So Yadav will have to review my code, and only when he comes back and he says, looks good to me, which the industry just says LGTM. If he says, looks good to me, LGTM, looks good to me. Then I'll be able to merge. Okay, we're going to pretend that Yadav gave me a good code review. Okay, but you guys are going to code review each other's ICE tasks, and I want proof. Okay? All right? Oh, yeah. ICE task 1 is getting the code up there. ICE task 2 is merge, review. Okay. So I'm going to create this pull request.
what should I name my branch?
Whatever you want to testing. 1, 2, 3. Do you guys see this? Even for me, and I'm the owner, you bastard. Do you see this? Review required. Merging is blocked. Do you see? I can't merge into that main. Yadav, you're going to have to go. Give me a looks good to me. Until Yadav looks through this code and says it's good. This is the job. So the only problem is that I will still be able to merge somehow. I must just go find it. Because this is my repo. Damn it, I own it. Merge without waiting. Okay, but this can only work if you are the administrator. Do you guys understand? Of the repo. None of the industry repos I work with, I can do this. Okay, but we're going to let Yadav quickly do a code review. And Yadav will have to merge it, not even me. Yadav, do you have a VGA port or HDMI?
I have a board.
Do you want to plug this guy in there? So we're going to look at Yadav's laptop now.
It's on this side.
I'm blind, Yadav. I'm going to stop up your ports.
It's fine.
Okay, we're going to get Yadav's machine a second. Okay, so Yadav is doing a code review. I'm just going to press VGA here. Let's see if it will pick up Yadav's laptop, if we're going to have any luck. Doesn't like your laptop. Maybe I didn't shove it in deep enough.
It's searching. It's picking up something. I have a VGA too.
Don't judge. But I'm training you for projectors. I try to explain this to people.
It came up. Oh, but it's not the.
No, that's up to you. Windows key and
No,
key.
this is Linux. Okay, wait, what?
Okay, hold on. Your DAF has failed me. I don't know how to do that.
Also, it's not doing in Linux. Anyone else?
Speak to the projector. This is turning out to be rather disastrous.
You used Linux before. You used
Linux. What version of
Are you using
Linux?
Linux?
Ubuntu, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Go to applications.
Oh, something came up with
Use a proper Windows everything is bad.
It says project. Okay, there we go. This is your job doing a code review on my code. Okay? So he has to go through here. He can comment here. Now, if you put that comment, I'm going to kill you. So it says TLCN wants to merge. Okay? Then you have to check the code. Scroll down. You can come stand here. But listen, you guys, look at this. None of your lecturers are going to show you this. Watch me just can't do it. Okay, scroll. So he's going to put good comments. He's going to say, this is beautiful. Put a plus there. Hover your mouse here over line 9. Plus there. Say, this is beautiful code because I'll mark your assignments.
This is LGBT.
That's good stuff. Go down, it will auto save. Or you could have got them. What the hell were you thinking? Do you understand? That's good stuff. That's good stuff? Okay. Scroll down.
What is happening with this?
I don't know what you're doing. Now we have this. Okay. Scroll down. Scroll down. He gets to check all of my code. Now press the drop down arrow there. Some of you have to allow the merge. When do you allow the merge?
That's what I was looking for too.
Now press the drop down. Don't click projector.
Is it hovering? I can't see.
Yeah, it's hovering there.
You look.
Look at the screen.
My screen is black. My screen is black. See, this is Linux.
Do you see there is approved? Say LGTM. In capital letters. Click on approve.
LGT.
It's okay, we're gonna it's there. Okay, click on approve. Scroll, all the way. Yeah. Say submit review. Okay, now we're going to go back to my screen. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Do you see charges? No. Wait, sorry, you're not allowed. Click on merge.
You lost me.
Now you lost off. Stop. Click on merge pull request. Are you scared? Did you click it?
Yeah, okay.
Confirm merge. And now it's going to merge into the master branch. That is how you do it. Okay, now we're going to go back to my screen after you put your stuff through some home and people at home have looked. Why are you so noisy? What do you see here? Has my stuff changed? Wait, zip your lips. What do you see? Your dad's inappropriate name has approved this. And then it says the pull request has been successfully merged. Now we're going to say delete branch. Once you have merged a branch, it dies. You can always come back and restore it. But now if we go into the master branch, those changes will be there, but reviewed. And that is what you will do for every big code change you make at work. Someone will review it. Okay. So as task 1, get your code onto GitHub and correct. As task 2, we start reviewing. Okay? Pull request merges so that you don't leave here a fruit loop. Okay, you guys can go. Yeah?